My name is Jason Hammer, and it's a big one today. Divisional game, Colts and the Titans. We're going to break it down for you. We got a lot of different ways you can make some money on this game today.
Hey, I'm Scott Long, and I am 3-0 on the Colts this year. I've been telling you the truth when it comes to the spread. What am I going to give today? I'm flipping a coin right now. Let's find out.
This is All Indiana Bets, presented for the people, powered by Caesars Sportsbook.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Week 4 of the NFL season. And Scott, I'm not one for hyperbole, but this may be the biggest game in the history of the franchise ever for the Indianapolis Colts.
Seems totally fair. Keep going with your hyperbole.
I'm not one to be over the top.
Sure.
But no, seriously, this is a big game today. This is the game that Jim Irsay wants.
Yeah.
Years past, he would never mention a divisional opponent. Right. The Colts have to beat New England. The Colts have to get past somebody else. But now, let's be honest, the division goes through Nashville. The Titans, they own the Indianapolis Colts. You might not like it, but that's a fact.
They've won 8 of the last 9 times they've played divisional matchups, the Titans. That's what the Colts used to do. You remember that? When the Colts would be okay about everybody else, but they would dominate the South. The Colts have been getting dominated in the South.
Right.
Jacksonville owns the Colts. Titans own it. Even Texans tied. That was a rough one.
That one hurts.
But you could be sitting right there in first place area if you win today, because Jacksonville's got to go to the Eagles, so you're half a game out. It's a massive game. You can't be 2 losses and a tie in your division and expect to win the AFC South. That is too hard to do, so it is kind of a must-win.
So that's for the Colts. Let's talk about our bank. Let's talk about how we can make some money today.
Yes.
Colts are a 4-point favorite. The over-under is 43. We're going to break all of that down coming up in just a moment. But right now, let's go to Lucas Oil Stadium. The check down with Charlie Clifford and Angela Morian.
Good morning. Welcome to Week 4. Great to see you guys. Charlie Clifford, Angela Morian. Injuries across the board, really on both sides, Angela. That's the story pregame. Shaq Leonard, question is if he's out there, how much is he going to play? We haven't seen him this year. What else sticks out with the Colts defense?
The Colts defense is just banged up across the board. Even if the ones who are questionable on Friday play today, how much are they going to play? Even the ones that were limited in practice Wednesday, how good are they going to be against this Titans defense, or offense rather, with Derrick Henry barreling at them? So Shaq really needs to have a strong showing today if he is out on the field, even if he's limited in how many snaps he does take.
You mentioned Derrick Henry, only 3.6 yards per carry. That's 38th in football heading into Week 4. Very uncharacteristic. Titans defense, Zach Cunningham's out, star linebacker. Harold Landry, pass rusher. He has 8 career sacks against the Colts. He won't play. What else stands out with Mike Vrabel's unit?
It's just completely banged up, defensively and offensively, which we'll get to, but the Titans aren't where they need to be right now, and going up against Jonathan Taylor, who's just itching for a breakout game, it's a little questionable of how the Titans can contain him. So even though the Colts offense hasn't shown us its best yet with interceptions, fumbles, a bad offensive line, they're going up against a Titans defense that should be cake on your birthday, right? So we should expect to see a lot from this Colts offense today.
We're potentially putting some candles in that icing for Week 4, guys. Great to see you. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you. Now, we got good news and bad news, Scott. The bad news is that Darius Leonard is not going to play today.
No.
The good news is that Shaq Leonard is in the lineup. Shaq Leonard is full systems go today.
If you've been following our show, we refuse to call him anything but Darius until he actually plays for the Colts. So today we're down with the Shaq. And, wow, I'm down with those picks. Look at last week.
We had a great week last week. I went 4-1. We were rolling last week. So let's not waste any more time here. Let's get the money flowing in here, Scott. Let's talk Colts. Let's talk Titans. Talk money to me. Let's go.
Okay, so I've gone on a few rants about the local media, talking about how they're always taking the Colts, except last week when they took the Chiefs.
You need to be more kind to the local media, Scott.
I know. I'm working on that.
How
And
you guys
today, I am down with the media. I actually like the Colts. It makes no sense. Once again, like last week, it didn't make sense that the Chiefs were only like a 5.5-point favorite, and no one liked the Colts. I like the Colts in this spot. They are getting a couple players back, and there's a big issue that the Titans have. The thing that the Colts cannot do is stop a pass rush. But the best two pass rushers on their team are out. Simmons is a great player. I think the Colts are going to throw the ball more today than you might think. So I like the Colts -4. It's not like a heavy play, but I like them.
So Colts -4. You're not scared off by the fact that everybody is picking the Colts to win today, because usually when that happens, bad stuff happens to the Colts.
I'm very nervous about it.
Okay,
I don't
all
love
right.
this, and I would have preferred to take the Cowboys. But I've got to pick the Colts on this show. That's why you're watching. I'm 3-0. Let's go 4-0 on the Colts.
I'm going to go a different direction, but I'm not taking the Titans. I'm looking at the total here.
Okay.
Over-under is set at 43. I love this. I'm going over on this one. Not because I think this is going to be some sort of Wild West shootout, but this just feels like one of those 24-20 type of division games. It's going to be close. There's going to be some turnovers. You're going to see a few punts. But even if it's just 23-20, you push and you get your money back here. I think you're going to get just enough to get this over that total. Unders have been rolling this year in the NFL. I get that. But water finds that level. This is the week you start seeing some more of those overs start to hit in the NFL. And we're going to ride the Lightning, and we're going to go over 43 points in the Colts and the Titans.
You know,
Now,
you're talking about riding the Lightning. Your prop bets have been the Lightning.
Oh, thank you,
Put
my
it up
friend.
there, Pete. 11-6.
Look at
on
your
the
boy
prop
right
bets.
there. Look at that.
This show has been good. I'm even surprised how good we are.
Well, that's what people say when they watch this show.
I know.
God, look at those guys, but the show's really good.
Yes.
So here's a prop bet for the Colts game today. Jonathan Taylor, 20.5 carries. I love this one. We're going to go over 20.5 carries. The Titans can't stop the run. They're giving up over 5 yards per carry on the ground today. One of the worst teams in the league against the run. And if the Colts are going to have success, and if you want to keep Matt Ryan upright with this play of the offensive line, which has been atrocious, you're going to have to feed Jonathan Taylor. Over 20.5 carries is the play today. I think if the Colts are going to have success, he's in the mix. And no matter what happens here, whether the Colts are leading, whether they're trailing, you have to get the ball to your best player. That's JT. We're going over 20.5 carries for Jonathan Taylor today.
Now, there is a QR code that is, if you scan the top of your screen, you see that right up there?
Right above Scott's head, right
Take
there.
your phone right over there and scan it for our picks. Why do you want to do that? Some people don't even like us, but they love our picks. So here's your chance. People say, why don't you post your picks? Watch the show. It's on a scan.
Right. We're not just giving this away, even though we kind of are. But if you want to get a head start, there's the QR code for you right there. All right, when we come back, there's another Colts game coming up this week. Thursday night, the Colts are going to be in Denver. It's a short week, so we're going to look ahead. We've got a little look ahead to the Colts and Broncos. We're going to do some feeling it or fading it coming up next right here on All Indiana Bets. Hi, I'm Brad Pitt, and this is George Clooney, and you're watching All Indiana Bets on Wish TV.
Ocean, I don't know, I'm 56, so that's where I'm at. Ocean 44, maybe? I don't know.
45 today,
45,
actually.
Today?
Yes.
Hey, we're men. We come and do our job. There's no, like, candles. There's no birthday cake.
No.
We're adults doing what you need, helping you with your money. Let's go.
So the Colts have not one but 2 games in a 5-day window here. So let's talk about today's game first. We're going to do feeling it or fading. Scott, you tell me if you're feeling this bet or fading it. Jelani Woods, plus 750 to find the end zone today. Scored a touchdown last week. Plus 750 for Jelani Woods to score a touchdown.
That's the only catches he gets are touchdowns. So you would go, well, jump on. I think the Titans saw the tape. That's a juicy number. I get it. But this is a guy who's caught 2 passes. I'm fading that one.
I'm going to feel this one a little bit because I like the juice. It's worth a shot, plus 750. You put a 5 spot on it, you put a 10 spot on it. I'm not talking about putting the mortgage on this thing at all, but you give me juice like that with the guy who's clearly got somewhat of a rapport in the end zone with Matt Ryan. I'll take that. I'll roll the dice with it. I'll feel that one. How about this one? This is an odds boost, right, Scott?
Yeah.
So this is Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry, each to rush for over 99.5 yards. Feeling it or fading it?
See, Caesars Sportsbook, who is our sponsor, does some of these things. And it's kind of fun, and they give you an odds boost, I am feeling that one. I kind of like that one. I think that you're going to see a lot of the 2 running backs. All it takes is them maybe breaking 1 or 2 20-yarders, and you're in the money. It's just, once again, the juice of that. So I'll feel that.
I'm going to fade this one just because I think the Colts are going to stack the box on the Titans, limit Derrick Henry. You can't completely shut him down, but keep him under 99.5 and make Ryan Tannehill beat you through the air with a group of receivers that are adequate at best.
A.J. Brown's gone. He was the Colts killer.
He was.
So that's another reason I didn't even mention that I actually think the Colts can cover. So that's another reason why maybe the Colts are going to jam that box.
Last one here. We're going to look ahead to Thursday. We're jumping ahead. Thursday night in Denver, the Colts are 2.5-point underdogs taking on the Denver Broncos. I know we got a game today, Scott. A lot of things could happen. But if everything goes well today, what are we thinking about the Colts 2.5-point underdogs on Thursday night?
I checked in with my advice seeker for 4 or 5 days ahead. Aaron Rodgers' girlfriend.
Yes. Which one?
Well, the latest one, who they go into like the woods and they commune with nature and get mystical.
He likes the crazy ones, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, that is a possibility.
Aaron Rodgers isn't dating a Chili's waitress. You've got to have a certain level of crazy to be with Aaron Rodgers, who also has a certain level of crazy.
That's what I always admired about Tiger Woods. He would date a Chili's waitress.
He was a man of the people.
He was. So I'm going to tee this one up. That's what I just did there with the Tiger Woods reference. And I will tell you, I like the Colts against Denver. I do not like Denver. You're going to find that out. They are over their skis. They're sitting 2-1. I think they're going to be 2-3 by the time the Colts get done there.
If that long story into a Tiger Woods tee setup doesn't win a Daytime Emmy Award,
please
throw the award in the trash. All right, Scott, give me another pick that you've got on your card today.
Well, I just kind of riffed on it. I don't have to talk too much about it, but I am down with Las Vegas in this circumstance. What I will tell you about it is that the Raiders have been probably the most unlucky team in the NFL. They've blown
That's what happens when you go to Vegas.
Very much so. And our almost coach, Josh McDaniels, is already feeling the heat on the collar. So here
That's a shame.
Yeah, I know. And it's hard to really root for that guy. But today I'm going to root for him. The Broncos have gone to the Raiders 6 times in the last 6 years. They're a division team, and they've lost all 6. I think the Raiders' talent is better. They have Russell Wilson, of course, the Broncos. I don't think he's even playing that well. The Denver defense has looked good, but I think that's been more of a thing of the offense. This is one of my 2 or 3 best bets of the day. I love the Raiders in this spot.
I like that. I like that pick. But I'm going to keep it in the AFC West here with the Kansas City Chiefs and a big primetime showdown against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers tonight. The total is set at 46. And I said earlier, unders have been rolling, especially prime-time unders. When you look at the games that have been under the lights, national prime-time games, most of these games have been under. But what happens? Water, level, it finds its level. And for me, the best thing that could happen for over-bettors was seeing Patrick Mahomes get ticked off and yell at his offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, last week on the sidelines here in Indianapolis. I think you're going to see some points tonight. It's not going to be a big total. It's not going to be like 54 or 55. But again, you get a 27-20 type of game with these quarterbacks. I don't think that's asking too much. You get that type of game, you go to the bank. We're going to go over 46. This is a bounce-back game for Patrick Mahomes. I like them. They're the dogs in this game. Chiefs never cover, but as underdogs, I like them a lot better. I'm just going with the total, though. Over 46. That's my play for this one.
You know how you feel when you get yelled at when you're older than the younger person like Bieniemy? I bet when he got home, he called his business advisor and said, "Hey, you know that insurance company that I went with Mahomes? Out! Send me wherever else. I don't care. I am done with that farm." So what do we do next?
We have got the long shot.
Oh, I was hoping.
Scott's going to make you some money on a long shot. He is rolling on it. He's trying to make it 16 out of 18. We will find out what his pick is next.
The Long Shot, presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook.
Scott, people have texted me. They have sent me tweets saying, please slow down the winning. We can't spend the money this fast. There's only so many houses we can buy. There's only so many cars we can buy. We're winning too much. Please slow down, Scott.
Okay, so Hammer is the king of the prop bet. I brought a prop today just to make this even seem more. Look at these glasses I just bought. That's how much money I'm making. These are high quality readers that I bought online.
Oh, now it's time to get down to business. Look at that number.
16, and all 16 have covered outright. That is even more incredible. So show the money right now. Let's put me on this. Okay, the Ravens +3. Are the Bills the best team in the NFL? I still think they are, actually. But they're in a tough little spot. They went down to Miami. They should have won that game. I asked their quarterback coach. He's still breaking buildings. He's so angry. So now we go to Baltimore, and they're +3, the Ravens. You're like, well, you know, the Bills are going to bounce back. The weather is going to be so fun to watch because it's just going to be a torrential downpour from everything I'm reading and seeing. Hurricane force hitting Baltimore, and Lamar Jackson, who listens about how Josh Allen's the best quarterback. Ooh, the chip that is already always on Lamar Jackson, the 31st pick in the draft, he is going to be flying high. He's 9-1 as an underdog at home. 9-1. You cannot make a dog out of that dog. He will be eating and barking all over the Bills. Love this pick. Don't sprinkle the money line. Just pour the water on it. It's crazy town. I can't wait till that game starts. Do you feel that?
I feel that. Now, for those who may be watching this show for the very first time, let me make something perfectly clear. Scott and I don't agree on a lot of things.
No.
We disagree on quite a bit. But this is something I think we can get together on here. I'm with you. I'm a weather nerd, too. I went to school to become a weatherman. But then I realized telling that, bathroom jokes was a lot more fun, and that's how I started my career. But the weather is going to be interesting today. You're going to have winds. I think the wind is going to be more of a story than the actual rain. I like the Ravens here. 3 points in a game where the weather could be a little dicey. And you're right, Lamar Jackson with that chip on his shoulder. Contract year Lamar Jackson. Every time this year we have hitched our wagon to a Lamar Jackson bet, it's came out. Maybe they didn't win the game outright, but they covered, and he put up numbers. I think he does that again today. 3 feels about right in this game. I'm not as confident on the money line as Scott is, but I'll take the Ravens in a field goal at home. Give me those home dogs with an MVP-type quarterback every single time. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens +3 against the Bills.
Okay, that had no idea you were going with the Ravens like myself. That has not always been great. I just asked Peter during your he said I cannot change the pick. So we're going to stick with it. I still feel pretty confident. Not as much, but that's what we do. And I feel good about the show.
You know what made me feel better?
What?
Booze. Let's go to the bar. Can we please go to the bar? I've been waiting to go to the bar the whole show.
Yeah,
we got the Lunazol locks coming up, and I think we have to have some Lunazol. It'd only be right. So our best picks, the Lunazol locks, coming up next on All Indiana Bets.
The Lunazol Lock is brought to you by Lunazol Tequila.
Lunazol, we hear you.
We got you.
We're tasting you right now, and it is so delicious. It's a Sunday. That's what we do. And it's not even a Sunday morning.
Right.
It's 12:30.
It's the perfect time to start drinking tequila. Then again, I'd say that if it were 7 a.m. too. All right, let's get into our Lunazol locks. These are the games that we feel the absolute best about. Scott, keep the winning going.
I went into the season thinking talent level, the 49ers and the Bills were the two best teams, just talent level. And there's one big difference, Hammer, between the two teams. One of them has a world-class quarterback. The other one had Trey Lance. And then I thought, oh, Jimmy G, he's average. If he's just average, he was so bad against the Broncos. He gave the Broncos every chance, and then that exciting 11-10 battle we saw, the 49ers lost. 49ers need to start winning. They were 3-5 last year and still almost went to the Super Bowl. They've got that kind of talent. There's one team that always makes the 49ers feel better, and that's the Rams, right? Isn't that weird? The world champions. But for some reason, Shanahan has something over his former assistant coach, McVay. I like the talent level, the 49ers talent level, way better than the Rams. Hey, Jimmy G, just keep it close. Your team's going to win. Take them -1.5.
All right, I will see your Niners pick, and I'll keep it out west. Not necessarily the same division or even the same conference, but I'm going out to Vegas. My home away from home, Las Vegas. Scott, you mentioned this earlier. The Broncos just aren't right. They brought in Russell Wilson, and he was expected to fix all the wrongs with this Broncos offense. It's been a mess. And the Raiders haven't been much better, but they've caught every bad break imaginable here. So if you buy the old gambling adage that home field advantage in the NFL is worth 3 points, look what the line is here, 2.5. The Raiders are going to get on the board eventually. What we've learned from the NFL, unless you're one of those historically bad teams like the Lions, everybody's going to win a couple games, everybody's going to lose a couple games. This is the time for the Raiders to get that first win. They're at home. The Broncos are struggling. They got a short turnaround against the Colts next week. I like the Raiders in this spot. I don't love either one of these teams. Give me the home team that's less than a field goal. Lock the Raiders in -2.5.
I feel like you're wearing like a Vegas shirt.
This is my shirt, man. This is my shirt. When you see a dude walk up in this type of shirt, you have to ask yourself one question. What about that guy? This is my what about that guy shirt.
I had no direction on where you were going with that. Still don't understand it. Loved it. That's the history of your career. Let's cheers that. Let's grab some tequila and move on.
Let's do it. When we come back, we will play prop, lock, or drop it. I have been a prop picking machine, and the winning continues. Don't go anywhere. That is coming up next.
Here we go again. It's time to play prop, lock, or drop it.
Boom!
Now, I don't want
boom! Look at that.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. You know what? You've been really good at this, Hammer. there's this game, you're supposed to explain it. I just feel like let's get it on. Let's just tell it. What do you want to say?
Well, when you say that, it sounds almost like you're surprised. You've actually been good at this. It's like when my mom and dad, I asked them, hey, what do you think about my radio show? It sounds like a real show. It's like such a backhanded compliment, but thank you, I guess. 4-1 last week. We're going to keep the winning rolling right here.
Okay, so first up, Colts wide receiver Alec Pierce taking on the Titans today. His total receiving yards is set at 27.5. Do you lock? Do you drop?
I am going to lock this one in because last week I saw a little something out of Alec Pierce we haven't seen yet. We saw the speed. We saw the ability to get a little separation. He had a 30-yard reception last week, ended up having over 60 yards against the Kansas City Chiefs. We don't need a big game from Alec Pierce because, again, I think Jonathan Taylor is going to be featured very heavily today. But one catch from Alec Pierce, and your toes are tapping here. He's the one Colts receiver that's the home run threat. And I think Matt Ryan knows that. Pittman's going to get you your slants, your inside curls. He's your possession guy. But Alec Pierce is your home run threat. You just need one. 27.5. We're going to ride over. Lock it in.
I like that one, too. Now, here we are with Bills quarterback Josh Allen. It's going to be a monsoon in Baltimore. His over-under, which is low for him, is 1.5 TD passes. Tough one to make a decision on. Do you lock? Do you drop?
This one is tough because the weather and the wind and the Ravens. Let's be honest. This is going to be a pretty good game, I think. But I can't go under on this one. We can't drop it down. We're going to go over. Now, keep this in mind. Even a screen pass in the red zone could be a touchdown pass. This may not be your traditional deep downfield bombs that you're used to seeing from Josh Allen, but when you get in the red zone and things tighten up, this is where your running backs, this is where your tight ends come into play here. Josh Allen is smart enough to know he's going to take what they give him. So we're going to go over 1.5. This Bills offense is still good enough to score in any condition imaginable. This is not a big total. And if odds makers are going to keep making this low, we're going to keep picking over every single week. Josh Allen's been 1.5 touchdowns twice this year. We've hit it every time. We're going again.
So playing the heater. Here we go. Steelers playing against the Jets. New York coming to Pittsburgh. Najee Harris, running back. His rushing yards is set at 65.5. Do you lock or drop against that vicious Jets defense?
This is a drop. We're going under here because even though the Jets are not very good, they're going to stack the box and they're going to make Mitchell Trubisky beat them through the air. And we've seen other teams do that this year. The Cincinnati Bengals, they decided we're going to make Mitch Trubisky try to beat us through the air. They made a lot of mistakes on their end, which ultimately kind of cost them. But I like Najee Harris going under here. This is not a good Steelers offensive line, and the Jets are going to make Trubisky beat them through the air. This is too high. He's going to get a lot of carries. He's going to be around 60 yards or so. I think he'll catch a few balls, but we're just talking about rushing yards here. We're going to drop this one down under.
So Monday Night Football, it's kind of like the Titans playing the Colts. This is a divisional rivalry. You got the 49ers. You have, of course, playing the Rams. And I'm looking for what the prop is.
Deebo Samuel. Over under 29.5 rushing yards. Rushing is the key here. Now, Deebo is one of those dudes where he's so dynamic, he's going to catch a few balls. But the 49ers often try to put him in the rushing game as well. They'll bring him around on an end around. They'll find some way to put the ball in his hands. That works against a lot of teams. I don't think that works against the Rams. The Rams' ends are going to make sure they do a good enough job on contain to where Deebo Samuel is not going to get 30 yards rushing. I just don't see that happening. Now, in the passing game, all bets are off here. Scott, you made this bet based on what you're going to see offensively from each team. I think the Rams' defense is going to be good enough to limit Deebo Samuel to under 29.5 yards. Drop this one down.
So our last one on this list, on this bill, Sunday Night Football, another really great game. Tampa versus Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes is another one of those 1.5 passing TD. Do you lock or do you drop against a very good Bucks defense?
Yes, most cases against the Bucks, you would take under 1.5. But again, because of what I said earlier, I like the fire that I saw out of Mahomes, ripping the offensive coordinator, not being happy with what's happening offensively. I think that's a recipe for Patrick Mahomes airing it out tonight. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball on Tampa Bay. So if Kansas City is going to put points on the board, if they're going to be competitive, you're going to see Travis Kelce in that passing game be very much a big part. It's going to be the middle of the field. It's going to be some small passing, but I think you get over 1.5 passing touchdowns with Patrick Mahomes. A motivated, ticked off Patrick Mahomes coming off of a loss, going to Tampa, who beat them in the Super Bowl a number of years ago. All the motivation is there. All of it's there, and I will go over. Lock this in with Patrick Mahomes tonight.
You are 4-1 with those. Let's see if we can get another winning week out of those prop, lock, or drops. What happens next on this show?
So the woman that's not here, Danielle.
Yeah, Danielle.
Will have her pick. And then we will have a lot more picks to make. We're not done. We got more picks to make. We got more drinks to make. We're taking this party all the way up until kickoff till 1 o'clock. This is what we do right here on All Indiana Bets. Come on back.
Betting lines for All Indiana Bets are presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook.
Hey guys, Jason, happy birthday, my friend. I'm going to give you my Mick pick of the day. Jacksonville Jaguars, they are traveling to what I heard is going to be a very rainy Philadelphia. This is going to be an exciting game, though. I think this is going to be the biggest test for both offenses. Eagles defense has only allowed 15 points the last 2 games total. And Jacksonville's defense, they've only allowed 10 points total the last 2 games. Josh Allen is just wrecking up that front line. Also, Trevor Lawrence, he is looking, his reads are accurate. He's only done 1 interception these last 3 games. The Eagles, though, they have so much force on this team. I think they look like Super Bowl contenders right now, but I do think these Jags can keep this game very close. Right now, the Eagles are favored by 6.5. I would take Jacksonville plus the 6.5. And I would say I would take that all the way within a 4-point game. It's going to be close. Jason, again, happy birthday, my friend, and I'll see you guys next weekend.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for the birthday shout out.
That was nice.
Scott, my question to you is, who is that?
I thought she had bought a birthday thing for you.
Was that like a cameo message?
I felt like it was. She seems like a nice lady.
Does she work on this show? Does she still work with All Indiana Bets?
I feel
like she's never here.
I feel like I saw her maybe 8 or 9 years ago on Indie Style.
Her attendance makes your attendance look good. There's only one Cal Ripken of this show that you can count on every week, delivering picks and television greatness.
Okay, I liked her pick, though. And
you're
going to like this pick. Let's bring it on. We have got to keep this record. Last week we were, 7-3 between the two of us. I am 7-4 so far in the show. And I have 2 rules about the Steelers in betting. First off, I don't usually ever bet them to be a favorite. Mike Tomlin gets them going when they are the underdog. But they're playing the Jets. That's another rule I have. Bet against the Jets. It's a good deal. Now, there's one little problem. I've always had the number 1 rule, never bet with Mitch Trubisky. So I'm a little on the edge, but I just feel like the Jets are bringing Wilson back. I got to go with the Steelers minus 3.5 and that terrible towel swinging at the Jets all day long.
First of all, shout out to our producer, Peter's dad, who's digging my throwback suede. He likes my What About This Guy shirts. So shout out to Peter's dad. Yeah, I got the same pick. Rusty Zach Wilson, let's go Steelers. All right, when we come back, we will go to Peter, our producer. He's got a segment called Don't Tease Me, Bro, where he's got a teaser for you. That's where you can move the point spread one way or the other. You don't win as much money, but you get a little comfort with the spread. That's coming up next. ask all the time, are you guys really drinking? Yes.
I'm already done.
Yes, we are. This show is like bowling and playing pool. It gets better after you've had a few drinks. So, Scott, please tell everybody the picks that you've made so far.
I need to get out of the way so I can show them. Okay, so this is a show in Indianapolis. I was told I needed to make a play on this. So I take the Colts. I lean Colts. Not a big lay on the money. Niners, Monday night. Really liking that game. You want to get some action? That's the side. The Ravens, +3. That is a long shot. I believe someone said 16-2 out of the last 18 on
It's
that.
unbelievable, the roll you're on.
I mean, have you noticed the market? Why are you wasting time with that? There's the automatic. Raiders, -2.5. Steelers, -3.5. I can't imagine that won't at least go 4-1.
So jump on that right now if you can. I am going to take the over 43 in this. The total, it's about right, but this just feels like one of those 24-20 type of games. It's not going to be like in the 50s, but this is too low. We're going over 43. I like the over in the night game tonight, the primetime affair. I know what you're saying. Unders in primetime have been rolling, but this is a motivated, ticked off Patrick Mahomes. I think you see some points tonight. And Scott, you and I are on the same page for 3 games here.
Yeah.
We like the Ravens, the Raiders, and the Steelers. Those are our plays today. So let's now go to the booth where our producer, Peter, is standing by. Peter, I'm proud of you because you told me you stayed up way late last night watching a degenerate late night West Coast game. I'm proud of you. It feels like you're growing up a little bit.
I appreciate that. You know, my goal for this segment today is to make enough money that I can go buy a shirt like Hammer has on. Where did you buy that shirt, by the way?
This is from a garage sale at Charlie Sheen's, actually.
I've heard Beach Grove garage sales are far superior to all other garage sales.
Dude, the tiger blood that's running through these veins, look out. Look out.
That Chess King that he bought that back in the... Go ahead, Peter.
I'm told I'm supposed to do a teaser. Now, a teaser is 2 things. First of all, a teaser, if Hammer were to unbutton that shirt one more button, that's a teaser. Just a little bit of a tease
Peter,
for you.
I give the people what they want. Look at this.
And then, but if we're talking gambling, the teaser that we're talking about here is basically a parlay where you're able to move the spreads, right? You move the lines in your direction. So I'm with you guys on the Ravens today. I think John Harbaugh's against the spread record as an underdog speaks for itself. We'll gladly take them up to +10. Jaguars Eagles, that's the game of the day today in the NFL. 2 hottest teams in the league going at it. This is a revenge game for Doug Peterson, if you will. Jags are playing as well as anybody. 13.5 obviously is a ton of points, especially in the weather they're going to be playing in. I think this will be a low-scoring game, so we'll take the Jags up to 13.5. And then I'm on the opposite side with you guys on the Broncos here. I'm not sure the Broncos win outright, but I'll take them from 2.5 to 9.5. The defense for the Broncos is going to be the best unit on the field. The offense is bound to figure it out eventually with Russell Wilson and all the skill position guys they got. I don't think the Raiders are very good. So there's the teaser, and then a bonus pick for you. I like a lot of unders today. Take every under you can possibly take. The forecast is going to be terrible on the East Coast. And I took a Bears under last week. It didn't hit, but we're going back to it. 38.5. Bears, Giants, gale force winds. I don't even know what that means. Hammer, you're a weather guy. You can probably tell me. I think it means it's going to be windy. There's going to be rain. These offenses stink. We'll go under 38.5. And I'm going to go buy me a shirt like Hammer's got on, except I'm going to take it one button lower for a teaser next week.
When I walk into a room wearing this outfit, the throwback jacket, this type of shirt, you'd expect the Magnum PI theme song to immediately start playing. Yeah. That's how fly this white guy looks today. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, you're winning. Just keep winning and keep wearing the shirt. If you go 5-0 this week, you have to wear the shirt again next week.
I'll have matching underpants if I go 5-0 this week, Peter. And I might just wear that on the show next week.
Please do.
Here we go. All right, when we come back, I don't think we've had one of these yet this year, but the time is right. The people have asked for it. The return of Stop It with Scott Long. That is coming up next, right here on All Indiana Bets. I love that picture. I love that picture.
Oh, we haven't done that this year, and I don't want to do it because I love the TV food that we do. But today we didn't have any food, so I have a Stop It. This, if you haven't noticed, is a gambling show. And there are gambling ads all over the place. You watch the local news. Probably is on Sesame Street at this point. What is going on with some of these coaches? There's one coach that's got it figured out. His name is Motor City Dan Campbell. Woo! He is this year, or actually since he's been a coach, he's 13-7 against the spread. He's 4-15 as an overall record. He cares about his fans. Coaches, think about him. Think about your fans. They love you when they leave if they win or lose, as long as they covered and have some jingle in their pocket.
I like it. I like it. Hey, hope you had a good time with us. We'll be back Saturday from 11 to noon and next Sunday from noon till 1 right here on All Indiana Bets. Good luck, everyone.